Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another weekly Elliott Wave analysis for Bitcoin. Just very quickly, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really does help. I appreciate everyone's support. And if you're also interested in the Discord membership and also would like to get a more in-depth personal train of thought on my side, then please don't hesitate to reach out with the link in the description below. We also do offer a Patreon if you're interested in seeing more video updates twice a week. But we've been operating Discord since 2017 or so. It's been a long time. So if you're interested, please don't hesitate to reach out with any of the links in the description below. So with that being said, let's get straight into the analysis. Nothing really as much changed. We are still expecting more downside, or at least I'm expecting more downside. So whether you agree or not, I mean, that's really up to you as a market participant. But to me, I'm still not really finding any impulsive nature. We're really looking for this B wave to conclude, and we are kind of ranging here, and I'm not finding any impulsive nature off of the lows here. And it really doesn't make sense for me to just say that the wave 4 has ended here, because there's just far more evidence for this to be a connector wave, that this is going to be working for one more move to the downside. And this is all based on the idea of alternation that we discussed in the previous idea, where this wave 4 is going to be a sharp correction because this wave 1, 2 was observed as a sideways correction. And when you're working with the idea of alternation, they don't have to work all the time, but when you're working with the highest degree, and now that we have these series of 3/4s being complete of the smaller degree, more specifically the primary and the subminuet degree, that means that there's a really good chance that this wave 4 is going to be extended in both time and in size, whether it's in depth or, it's either going to be one or the two. But for now, it looks like it really wants to achieve both of them based on both time and also in the size of how this wave 1, 2 was also played out. So that's all just based on the idea of market psychology. I think that the bears did mark their territory. This move here, this 15% move down more specifically, was really bears marking their territory for this possible top being in. And the reason why it's possibly in for a top is because it's not identified as a wick. It's been a sustained selling pressure within that small range that we had here, and it was quite sharp. And that 15% move to the downside deemed it as an actionary wave going into the first wave A. And remember, actionary waves are comprised of wave A's or wave 1s or wave C's or wave Y's. But if you can see here, this move down here was definitely sustained pressure that we were finally looking for a possibility of a B wave being in the works. And that is what we're getting. We originally anticipated the B wave being ended here, where we really wanted to rip the band-aid off, because we could have identified this being the B wave in itself, and this could have been the C wave. But once we started to identify that this was working correctively to the downside, more specifically for this B wave here, it created a new price extreme, and we're anticipating for another possible bounce here. And that's why the Elliott Wave Theory gives us that kind of conviction and also the change in thought as the price develops. So that's what we're looking for here, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking for a 3, 3, and 5 here, but how this 5 was being created depends on how the motive wave is going to be created. And right now, the only way I can see this currently being built is possibly a diagonal, where we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, there is a lot of discrepancy and also subjectivity within how this C wave is being created. I think no one really has a real good way of interpreting it. I can definitely kind of guarantee that, because even I have a difficult time in seeing how this C wave is being built. However, it does look corrective. And if we're going to be using or utilizing the new rules and guidelines based on the diagonal rule and guideline, is that even though this wave 4 didn't overlap with the territory of wave 1, it's still deemed valid as a possible diagonal idea, as long as it stays true to the overall characteristic, building that contracting diagonal outlook and characteristic. I still think that this is a possibility that we're going to get rejected just based on this pattern alone. Now, we can also say that if we zoom in, actually, I do have a count for this in the smaller time frames. This is just based on the premium membership. I also will be sharing it here. But as you can see, this is really the only way I can be counting it. I don't see this being a protected bottom, ladies and gentlemen. It's really hard for me to say that this is a wave 4, because it just doesn't meet any of the expectations when you're looking at it from an Elliott Wave perspective. We didn't even hit the 61.8% level, or the golden Fibonacci, based on the trend Fibonacci extension. This C wave, if this was an ABC or WXY, it's just too short, in my opinion, to say that this was a bottom. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's just very, very unlikely, which is why I'm seeing this move here as a connector wave rather than the bottom of something, and we're building something new here. So yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. Again, if we're seeing this as a possible ABC and you're seeing this as bull, you're really, rolling the dice here and thinking that you're playing jackpot basically at this point, right? If you're going to see this move up. So yeah, we just got to work with the expectations, the probabilities. And for now, I think that this B wave is still working in, and we're going to be working for one more move to the downside. Again, I'm happy to be wrong, but at least we'll know why we were wrong, because right now the markets are shifting more into neutral territory. We're just kind of, going back and forth within this range. And I think that we're eventually going to tiptoe over into and roll over into a possible C wave. That's just how I'm seeing the markets personally. So yeah, expanded B pocket, we created a new expanded zone, which means that we created a new price extreme. Instead of utilizing this as the bottom of something, I'm seeing this as a connector wave, as a B wave, and that in itself would be the A, B, C, and this would be a 3-3-5 structure, which is the mode of sequence of how a flat plays out. And more specifically, if it creates a new price extreme, then you only have two variations left, which is the running flat idea or some kind of expanded flat idea, which creates two price extremes where the C wave also goes beyond this wave A over here. So that's how I'm seeing it, ladies and gentlemen. I think that this is the overall primary idea. I think that we're going to be fulfilling the overall alternation idea based on the larger 1-2 of the Minio degree. And then eventually, if we look at it, you can see it does also fit into the idea of not only depth, but also in time as well. And I think that this fits quite nicely. We do have all the expectations being met, even from an alternation perspective here, ladies and gentlemen, of the sub-minuet and also the primary degree. I mentioned in this previous video that we had a sideways wave 4, a deep wave 1-2, a sharp 1-2 here, and then a sideways 3-4 over here. So this fits very nicely in the characteristic of how the overall characteristic of an LA wave structure should be created. And so if we're going to be fitting to the idea without any bias, then this idea should, if you're just strictly working from a textbook narrative, then this idea should be coming into play, really. And again, the target's anywhere from the $86,000 level to the $78K levels, and that's just based on the rejection that we're going to get rejected around the 61.8% level or the 0.618 Fibonacci level, which is the golden retracement of this level over here. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting really close to some kind of resolution. And there is good news to this, ladies and gentlemen. I think that we're going to be able to see a large, massive alt season that many are kind of, biting their nails. I think that a lot of people, once they turn bearish here, this will be the major opportunity. I think that we'll see a massive alt season. I don't think that this is the conclusion of the bull market just yet. And I think the best way to just kind of state this and where we're currently positioned within this bull market is that we're not entirely outright bearish. In fact, I'm still a bull. It's just not bull mating season yet. I think that's the best way I can say it. We're just kind of in a overall kind of happy kind of continuation to the upside once we do get it, but it's not going to be bull mating season. I think that we're going to see most of the opportunity happen within the altcoins. This move here, as you can see, since we're so high and based on the compounding power of compounding, 30 to 40% is not too much of a move to the upside, right? Depending on how far this wave 5 extends. I don't think we're going to see, $300,000, $200,000 in this cycle. But again, there's opportunities, right? And it's just how you're going to be grasping the opportunities, learning how you are risk managing your own portfolio. For now, I'm trying to give the overall direction based on the Elliott Wave Theory. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just based on this, we're looking for this sharp wave 4 to still play out. Maybe we'll have a new update within the following week. Remember, so hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That definitely helps. If we get enough interest within this video, maybe I'll do another Bitcoin update this week. But yeah, hopefully that's helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video. We will have more opportunities and also more updates within the Discord. So if you're in the Discord already, just maybe be on the lookout for more updates. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.